The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Lifestyle. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico and Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning, I'm Nico and Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
And to recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms, I'm Paige Clarke. Good morning.
And it's a beautiful morning in Clearwater. It's 54 degrees and clear skies, and going up to about the low 70s today. And it's cooler. It's nice.
It's nice. It looks nice, and I hope you all had a very happy, Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy Hanukkah. Enjoyed time with your family, and hope you're giving yourself a little R&R. I mean, are you running right back at it? Are you jumping right back into the saddle? Or are you going to kind of cruise through this week?
Yeah, you know, we should have mandatory vacations for everybody in the nation like they do in Europe. In Holland, they have a 2-week period where everybody's off work. That would be nice in the United States, especially between Christmas and New Year's.
I like that idea.
Yeah, so I think we should start like the 20th and take off till the 2nd every year.
I'm going to vote for you for president.
There you go. Well, my wife does this, actually. She started this a long time ago, and every year she's off between Christmas and New Year's and takes a couple of weeks off when she can. So I think R&R is important for us.
I think it's so important that we regenerate and reconnect. Rest, rejuvenation, reconnecting. And that's really, really at the heart of what we need to do. We need to disconnect so we can regenerate.
Well, I want to talk a little bit. Well, first of all, the number here, folks, is 877-927-6648. Feel free to give us a call. Well, the first part of the show, I really want to talk about how we started this whole thing, how Paige and I met, and, you know, what's happened since then and how we were eating at that time. So let's start. The first thing I remember is seeing you on Facebook and commenting because the fluoride was in town.
Right.
We had that amendment.
Yeah, we're the laughingstock of the intelligent world because we actually
voted it out
very, very wisely. And then we had some talking buffoons come in and you know, try and convince our uneducated, about the subject, commissioners, mayors, etc., people, and they just swooned to the side. Oh, well, of course, we need to keep it in. Yeah. And we actually spent taxpayer dollars to continue to poison ourselves. Yeah.
So that's how we began, and I think I commented to you on Facebook, let's get together or something like that, and we had a little lunch at this little health place down on Fort Harrison and chatted a little bit, and I said, you know, it'd be great to have you on the show since you've got so much knowledge. And, you know, the dilemma for me when I was by myself is I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. I just kind of go by my own searching and my own need to want to be healthy and later in life.
Right. Well, I think that's true with all of us.
Yeah. And my sister back in 2008 gave me a book on paleo from, I forget who it was, the guy who, the primal guy.
Lauren Cordain.
Yeah. No, not Cordain, the other guy.
Sisson.
Yeah, Sisson, Mark Sisson.
Mark Sisson's book.
So I read that book first. It made a lot of sense, and then I started digging into all the other books about it. Really got fascinated with it, and by the time I left my sister's house, I had already told my wife, I'm going to do this, and she says, well, I'll do it with you for a couple of weeks, because she knows that I will go ahead and get on the bandwagon of things and do things that I think are right and change my life completely. And, well, we never looked back. But then a few years later, you came along, and boy, we had a blast on that first show. Yeah. I don't even have a copy of it anymore. I was looking at it the other day. We go back about 300 episodes, but I guess we've been together about 5 years now. So.
I was going to say, I don't even remember the date, but there are a lot of shows, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of shows and a lot of different backgrounds we had. And it really helped me to get in a conversation on the air for my listeners. It really was important that you came aboard. I really just want to thank you. It's been a real blessing to have you. Not only is it easier with two people, because then you can banter a little bit, and that makes the show, I think, a little bit more exciting. And one of the rules that I put forth at that time, because I was listening to Adam Curry, and one of the rules, he says, don't practice, don't talk about what you're going to talk about. Maybe you can send a copy of things that you want to talk about, but don't you guys discuss it until you get on the show, because then it's fresh. So you get the natural,
raw reaction.
Well, not only that, but then a lot of times when you rehearse things, you forget because you've already said them. So your mind is already done with those things. It's not fresh and new. So that's one of the things we've done, and it's worked pretty well, I think.
I enjoy it. It's like meeting a friend for coffee and having a conversation.
Yeah.
And, we do this because we're passionate about learning the truth.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I think when we first started, it was about the food.
Yeah.
But it's not all about the food, folks.
Right.
It's not. It's about the whole, and I think actually the show title adequately, reflects that by living a primal lifestyle. It's about what we're supposed to be doing. And God knows it's hard to do it sometimes. We live in this very technologically advanced EMF soup of electromagnetic frequencies, which I believe are really at the core reason. I believe, and I personally have been struggling with the exposure. I'm very sensitive. And it gets to a point where it's like, what's going on? It's not the food. I mean, the food's important, but you can be having the food right and still be having issues. And I think it's from not getting back to being in touch with nature. And it's very easy to get distracted because we're all on that hamster wheel. Go, go, go. So I'm actually taking off next week,
Yeah, you're going to see Jack Cruz, right?
Well, I am going to be part of a bunch of people hanging out in the Yucatan on the beach. I'm doing this for me. Here we live in the beach, but I get so crazy in my everyday life, I don't do it. So I'm just going to throw myself into a new environment.
Well, it's also so great to meet some of these pioneers of knowledge that the mainstream kind of ignores. But boy, is there a huge following now with paleo. I mean, we've got all these offshoots of ancestry type of eating, Weston A. Price type of eating, carnivorous eating.
I just call it the return to real food. That's my Instagram handle.
Sure
I actually built it up. It's a return to real food. That's important. But see, quite frankly, Jack would be so sick of this. He doesn't like talking about the food. He has made people in the paleo world quite angry because he's like, you guys are too focused on the food. It's about.
Well, I think it's because Paige, food is such a big part of our life.
Well, I mean, I'm not discounting it.
And it's a kind of change that you can really see within yourself. Yeah, those other things are there, and that is really cutting edge, what he's talking about. And
I think it's the most important thing. You can't.
It may be.
You can't get well in an environment that made you sick, and that includes your food, the way you sleep, your exposure to light, your ability to. I mean, all of this stuff is very disruptive to our health.
Sure.
And all these electronics, it's just. I mean, I thank God we're not in front of it all day. Poor Al back there. Thank God we got him a
lead suit is what he wants for Christmas, right? The lead suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll continue this, folks. The number here is 877-927-6648. I'd like to remind you to pick up Primal Edge, our one-shot wonder. Over 310 organic, cell-ready liquid ingredients, all powered by fulvic and humic acid. We'll let the good stuff in.
And the bad stuff out. Be right back.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Back to Living a Primal Lifestyle, Paige and Nico. But I do want to say Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks.
And it has been fun doing this show with you because we need to be around our people, you know? Have someone to talk about the same thing that we're reading. And we agree on so many things. We may not agree, but it's fun to have someone that will even discuss these things with you.
Yeah. Well, of course, we started off on Fridays at noon for a long, long time.
Which was my much preferred time. This is not my idea.
I know. And it's, you know, it's... Luckily, it's close to the house. That makes it easier.
Not for me.
I get up about the same time as if I would have had a client at 6 in the morning. So not bad for me. But I think moving to this time slot was a little bit different because we don't get as many callers because we have a lot of interest on the West Coast, and they're really probably still asleep.
Yeah.
And on the East Coast, I mean, people are just getting up at this time or, you know, rushing out the door to go. But I think it was nice to have that extra show. I think that's important. And somewhere along the line, we agreed that Tuesdays I would put the show together, and Thursdays you put the shows together.
Gives us a little bit of a
little buffer to not go too wild into this, because it does take a lot of time, because we read a lot of articles, and it's really not until I get in here about a half an hour before airtime that we decide what we're really going to be talking about.
Yeah, we have that little collator that we have a tool like where we send stuff that we're both researching and reading, and then we start to see a pattern and we say, yeah, we're going to talk about EMFs, or we're going to talk about...
Yeah, and sometimes it changes at the last minute, you know, so it's...
It can't be like work.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's true. It has to be enjoyable.
Sometimes I hope if there ever was an opening where we could, even if it was just one time a week, and we could go back to the 2-hour show, because
it wasn't
we would
2 hours. It was just 1 hour.
No, I know, but if we could
do a 2-hour show, you mean?
Yeah, if we had a 2-hour block, because we could do a lot of this, but then we could get a guest on.
Yeah.
And have a real quality time with them.
Yeah, it's harder to get the guests in this early.
It has been a little bit more of a
But
challenge.
I really do enjoy the part where we just talk about what we want to talk about, and so that's kind of a blessing in disguise for me. And so what has changed about your habits as far as the last 5 years, let's say, for you?
I actually have some issues. Like I told you, I do a tremendous amount of reading and studying and exploring what's the most important thing. I'm not the best implementer, kind of like the shoemaker.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm going to take off and just go have like a week in a place. It's not just about being at the beach. People say, well, you live here at the beach. No, it's about getting away from this toxic EMF soup, this real craziness. That's what I'm going to do this next weekend. But what's really changed with me, I've actually had a little bit more of a struggle. I'm struggling with some adrenal fatigue. It might be getting up this early. I've got to really.
It's been in the last year that's really you've been mentioning that.
Yeah, no, it's been. I have been really had some stress factors that just aren't resolving, and I got to work harder on myself.
That's what we all have to do, don't we?
Actually implement what I know.
Yeah.
So.
I've actually gone more towards the carnival side of, and my wife has too. We pretty much eat a lot of the meat, not big portions, but even for breakfast it's just eggs and bacon or eggs and sausage. And in the evening it's, Mondays we usually have pork chops, Tuesday we have chicken legs, and Thursday we might have some Italian sausages or maybe some fish or some shrimp or some lobster or stone crabs, whatever it is. So we have a nice variety going, and we like what we're doing, but we don't have much vegetables in our life, and it seems to be working pretty fine. I was kind of worried about it at first, but I told myself I was just going to go after my instincts. So I know I need to eat the protein first and the fat that goes along with it. And, protein usually has about 50% fat in it. Some are fatter than that. And then with a little coffee, a little MCT oil and butter in there, I knock myself up to that 60 or 70% fat. And it feels really good. And I have less and less problems. I sleep pretty good. Now that I have this app, I can even prove it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's been very interesting. The other thing I want to mention is that it doesn't seem to bother me too much if I have a couple of beers or a couple of glasses of wines or even a couple of shots of scotch a couple of times a week. It doesn't seem to hurt me as much as when I'm on low carbs to begin with.
Yeah, because maybe that keeps you within that healthy range, because obviously you're getting carbs when you have alcohol.
Yeah.
But
it's almost a different kind of carb in a way. It's not. I've
been bouncing around. I've been trying to figure out what it is, and that's why I keep saying maybe it's not all just the food. It's these other things. It's emotional stressors. It's environmental stressors. It's feeling constantly on the hamster wheel. I think for me that's been trying to find balance. Maybe I'm just not as good at taking that time for myself. But I think that, when you talk about the food, I've tried some of both, and it's really interesting. I had some digestive tests done because for the first time in my life, I've been having some really struggles this last year, and came back that the things that I was having antigen reactions to were meats and fats and fish and not even gluten. But yet, so I think that's very interesting. We'll find out more. I haven't actually followed up with a clinician on that, but. What's going on? Is it too hard for me to digest right now? Do I need more? Maybe it's
HCl?
not. Well, that you would start to think.
That's the first thing I think of.
Or chymotrypsin, protein digestive, proteolytic digestive enzyme. Might be stressed. So either way, I've always used them, but why is the situation? So
well, you still have to look back the 20 years before and see what you did and see. Now you've changed it from the 20 years ago, and so that I've got a friend who has been not eating meat for a long time, and then slowly started switching to eating meat, having all kinds of digestive problems.
Oh, yeah.
Because the HCl isn't there, and the other things, the other enzymes, the bacteria that needs to digest this food.
That's the key. And there's an article. The bacteria is not there. Did you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
Why isn't the bacteria there?
It's because you haven't had it. It hasn't been passed to you.
Well, not only that, no. Big article of how the EMFs are interfering with the bacteria in our gut, and with the organisms that are in our gut are affected by light. Remember, our eyes are not just lenses; they're cameras. They're designed to be
the world.
Monitors. They're monitoring the light signals, and that then, in fact, helps our bodies decide what's the next step. But again, if you're getting all kinds of different light signals and your circadian rhythm is mismatched, you can have health issues. And like I said, I usually eat very well, but I've been having blood sugar issues. I mean, just slightly, but leptin out of balance, you know, gaining the weight, the sugar. So, you know, I got to hack myself a little bit. So
well, I'm glad you're going to see Jack Cruz then, because this is going to be enlightening, and it helps the show too, because maybe 2018 we're going to be talking a lot about the electrical fields and all this stuff.
Exactly.
Of course, the grand solar minimum came in somewhere along the line. I started introducing people to Suspicious Observer.
And David Dubine's
and then David Dubine, Adapt 2030. And so that is all part of living a primal lifestyle to me, finding out what happened in the past so we can be secure in the future.
That's right.
And that's, boy, when you're talking about weather, that's something that can really change your life. And we'll talk about that when we get back. So stick
Take
around,
a short
folks.
break. We'll be right with you.
We'd like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
You know, when you're living a primal lifestyle, you have to get the truth about your environment, what's going on with the weather and everything else. So Nico and I feel it's our duty to give you information about the weather, since you can't get any true weather information from our local television media. But their weather anomalies are spreading across the world, folks. Coldest summer in Queensland, Australia. Earliest ice formation on the Haan River, South Korea. 3 to 5 meters of snow in Germany.
Here's a picture of the snow in Germany right here.
Guys, look at that. Does that look like global warming to you? I don't know. The weather's going crazy around the world, breaking almost every week a new extreme event record.
Yeah, they had 1 to 5 meters fall in one day. This is a lot of snow for one day. You could say, well, this is the ice pack from the whole winter. No, this is the beginning here.
Wow.
So pretty amazing. So people had to dig out of their house. You can see here how high it was.
Where's that?
That's in Germany.
That's amazing, yeah. In Brocken.
Yeah, Brocken, Germany. So, you know, we brought this kind of, when I first heard about the Grand Solar Minimum, that's when I really wanted to tell everybody about this, because you don't hear it anywhere except pretty much on the webs. And Suspicious Observer, and there's a lot of different
And David
ones.
Devine is warning, as we've been bringing up, folks, see, this is going to catch a lot of people off guard. Does that mean we're going to have snow in Florida? No. We might actually have a little cooler weather, though. That could be nice. But what it's going to mean is the food you buy is going to be quadruple. 8 times, 10 times, and this is, meanwhile, everyone's been told that we need to tax you for breathing, when in fact it's going to be very difficult for a good percentage of the population in the world to get food. And this is
and you can see
concerning.
with snowpacks like this is going to affect everything. Your heating, you're going to affect the cost of heating. It's going to affect just getting to work or getting to school. It does affect the economy too. So, you know, if things like this happened here, and I know up north it's getting pretty cold this week, and there's some snow coming too. So, you know, this is back, I remember in 1975, a lot of snow, and you go 20 years before that. It seems like in 20-year cycles it goes, but if you follow the sun, then you're really talking about those 11-year cycles, and you add that up twice, that's 22 years, and that seems like, okay, we're going into a minimum. But now, David Devine and all the other guys are talking about grand solar minimum. That's different. You know, we have this 11-year cycle that goes on and off, and sometimes that 200 to 400-year block, all of a sudden it gets extreme.
And that's what it is, guys. We're, you know, we have this, and we have a comment in the chat room from Matt. Does this, isn't there some serious volcanic activity contributing to this? Absolutely.
Exactly, Matt.
David Devine has taught us that during grand solar minimums, there is an increase in volcanism, and you should expect it, and you're going to hear about it. And boy, if we have some serious eruptions, imagine what that can do to the temperature and the cloud cover.
Yeah, and I also was reading an article over the weekend from the Suspicious Observer through the Thunderbolts projects, saying that the reaction of cosmic rays in the atmosphere is the making of all these weird clouds, these little thin ones that go across that look like the spraying thing. There's a lot of things that look weird right now.
I don't buy that, though. I mean, maybe they're creating some formations, but I believe that they are spraying.
Oh, I know that. But
Yeah.
what we're saying is, and David Devine talked about this quite a bit about a year ago, talking about this looks like it's spraying. Not that they're not spraying, they probably are spraying, but a lot of the things that Grand Solar Minimum, and all these little weird, you see the sun with big halos around it, and then you go to some of these cave paintings that the Thunderbolts project had,
Yes.
and you relate this, you know, people put things in stone that's very, very important to them. Yeah, they might put an antelope or something like that.
That was
but
a really interesting show we did, where you showed those cave drawings.
Yeah.
And it's...
when you're talking about the Wiggle Man, the little guy that's going like this, and they have already seen that in the sky in Alaska and Iceland. They
Yes.
have pictures just this last year of the little squatter guy, which is actually a formation of plasma, and they can duplicate this in the laboratory. So the laboratory experiments that they're doing with the Suspicious Observer and David Devine and these guys really show us that these things actually happened somewhere along the line, and people put it down in stone. It's kind of like a warning. When you see this, be ready. And now they've been finding these caves all over the world where people have lived in. There's one in Italy that they think thousands of years ago people lived, and it goes for miles.
Right,
So-
and they were actually living in this cave maybe to protect themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Have to go
I'm going to
somewhere.
read some headlines while you scroll. Just scroll in some of these pictures. We can't show a video, of course, but here's one in Chile. There's aerial footage of a village buried under a deadly landslide.
I think we can play it.
Look at this, guys. Are you seeing this stuff on the news? The next one, of course, the next one is the forest fires in California. They're spreading like crazy. You know, we're seeing all that going on. And here, Stromboli, a volcano erupts.
Of course, if
you
you read the last book by John Casey, he's talking about the Madras Fault, and he says in the 1800s and the 1600s, the Madras Fault was really active. And some of these sounds, have you heard some of these sounds?
Yes.
Kind of sounds like Gabriel's horn, or some of it sounds like big moaning. Sometimes it sounds like a big bang. These, they think, are the noises from the Earth settling.
The plate tectonics.
The plate tectonics, yeah. And I heard it the other day in Florida here. There was a big boom.
In fact, that's the name of this website, Strange Sounds. So, you know, even after hail and thunderstorms engulfed the United Arab Emirates and Oman yesterday, now impressive floods are engulfing the north of this country.
Yeah.
So, you know, folks...
So those sounds were also heard in ancient times, and that's where you get the name from, the Gabriel's horns, because, you know, our ancient people really personified a lot of these activities. So that's where the gods came from, Mars being the angry planet. You wonder why it was angry, and Venus being the virgin, and Saturn being our original sun.
Mercury being the quicksilver.
Yeah. And Saturn, the big important thing, was probably the original sun with the purple sky. So there's a lot of things that we don't hear about in schools that we dug into, and I think they're very valid. I think they should be taught in school. Maybe we're not right on with them, but it's a lot more interesting than going through the history books and talking about wars and things like that.
I think most of the kids today in school are indoctrinated, and they do. Their history books are primarily about wars, so that
Who won what?
Yeah, and his story, you know, his story.
Well,
the guy who writes the books.
We always have, you know, every country has this. We're so proud of our heritage. Well, if you dug down...
Who's proud of our warring heritage?
Yeah, who's proud of going and getting rid of indigenous people still going on today? These are the things we can't be proud of. Nationally, we're proud of our country. This is where we were born in. It's like saying, I'm proud of my parents. Of course. They might be murderers, but we're proud of them because that's, you know, that's a connection we have.
Well,
certainly, I'm proud to be part of America, even though I'm not even an American citizen. I love living here, and I don't think there's another country I would like to live in. I mean, I like to visit other countries, but living in America is really cool. It's, you know, even with all this stuff goes on.
I'm having some interest in exploring some other things, or, you know, just the whole idea. I think we believe that we are the freest country, but in talking with some other people, listening to some other people, we are not so much. I think we're a little bit indoctrinated, and other people around the country think that we are. Like,
yeah. I think we are.
People in Mexico go, please be careful when you go to that dangerous United States. You know, and we hear that it's Mexico. Oh, please be safe. We're worried about you going to America.
Mexico.
People get shot in movie theaters.
Yeah.
You know.
There is that.
So.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks. Stick around. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And welcome back. So we talked about the weather, we talked about the climate changing, we talked about the grand solar minimum. Another thing that happened just last year was my interest in Bigfoot got a big boost by connecting with Mark.
Yes.
From Colorado Bigfoot, and having that adventure with my son, which was really cool. And I was listening to Mark this weekend, and he's in Virginia seeing his family.
Oh, he has family in Virginia?
Yeah,
So
he
nice.
comes from Jersey, but his sister, I think, lives in Virginia. And him and his, I think it was her son, maybe, I'm not sure, or maybe her brother, I'm not sure. They went out at the end of this block where they live, and there's a whole bunch of bamboo shoots and stuff like that. And Mark goes in there, and all of a sudden he sees the big X. And he sees these bent trees. And he says, man, this is unbelievable.
In Virginia?
In Virginia. Mm-hmm. And in a forest that is just looks like these big reeds going up, you know. It's not really the trees, but it's still the same thing. It's bamboo shoots, and these are tall, 20 feet tall, and you see them being bent just like it is. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, if it's not Bigfoot, what kind of phenomena would cause these trees to do these things? Because the people aren't doing these things. Mm-hmm. First of all, he tried to bend a piece of bamboo, and you couldn't even bend it. Even the really thin one that was an inch around, he couldn't be bending it.
Right.
And here you have this thing that's about 7 or 8 inches around, and it goes up like this, and it's bent across, and it's tucked under a tree, and then it goes up on the other side. And you say, how the heck does this happen? It's an amazing thing. Now, when I was in Colorado, and
did he take pictures? The ones in Virginia too?
Oh
Is
yeah.
it on his site?
That's how I saw it. His latest video was all about
I'll
that.
have to
So
go
go
look
to
at that more.
Colorado Bigfoot, and you'll see his latest video, and that's about Virginia. But it's just astonishing to me that people are putting this stuff all over the United States, all over the world, really, even in Australia.
Well, maybe
you
it's
see
the
these
same
patterns.
group as like crop circles. There's
I
signs.
don't know. You know, if it's, and I can't see where a Bigfoot would be hiding inside a bamboo area. I mean, yeah, you could hide things, but I mean, Bigfoot are big. You know, they're 8, 10 feet tall, the mature ones. The small ones, of course, smaller, but, you know, it's not like they could be running up those things like they do running up a tree. You know, a big tree, you can run up pretty fast if you're
Right.
a Bigfoot. And I've seen pictures of that and film of that. I haven't seen it live, but I've experienced them being around me. So I do think there's something to this. I haven't seen it myself, and that's the way I am. If I haven't seen it, I don't think it's true. For me, you know, it might exist. So anyway, it's a phenomenon.
If you haven't seen it, you don't think it's true?
If I haven't seen it, it's not true for me until I see it or feel it. Yeah, I mean, we all have our beliefs, but
Right.
only the fool thinks the belief is the actual thing. My belief of a tree is not that tree.
Right.
It's different, even though it's similar, but it's a little different.
I believe
Because I
in a
don't
lot
know.
of things that I can't see.
Yeah, I believe in it too, but belief is not what it is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think belief is kind of the thing. It's dangerous in a way because now you're putting all your stock and trade into that one thing that may not exactly be true. Maybe it's off by a little bit,
Right.
but sometimes it's off by 100%. Who knows? I mean, I believe there's probably extraterrestrials that have come down here to visit us in some time or another. Maybe they're here now. I've never seen that. Now, I've seen objects that I can't identify, but that doesn't mean it's a spaceman. I've never seen, you know, a UFO that I can say, okay, this is a flying saucer, or this is cigar-shaped, or this is alien. I've never experienced that, although I think it's possible, and I think probably makes sense that they would be somewhere along the line. You know, that's what we'd be doing.
I always
if we were
think
out
about
there.
this. You know, if we were listening to 93, the radio station 93, and then we want to turn the frequency dial to 102.7.
You don't hear 93 anymore.
You don't.
No.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
That's right.
You know, it's existing in a different frequency
Yeah.
zone.
But see,
So-
you know that. That's different
But-
belief.
Right. So what I'm saying is I think that that's kind of the same way with when we speak of extraterrestrials or other life or so forth. They exist in a different frequency band.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
And so the question is, can we bridge these things?
Well, this is in Bigfoot. A lot of people say these people are
Shapeshifters.
shifters. Yeah, my tongue. Yeah, they have other abilities, and you know that to me is foreign. I've never seen anything like that. Although camouflage, I do believe in that, and I've seen that. So I know camouflage is true. I know I can look in a bush and see something, and I don't see anything, and pretty soon the turkey pops out.
Yeah.
You know, so you know it's there. But in fact, we're going back again. This time, my wife is coming with me.
Oh, Ellen's gonna do it too?
Yeah.
Yay,
So
Ellen.
we're going to have a nice vacation for 2 weeks this time in the Colorado area.
So you won't just be doing Bigfoot
No,
stuff.
we've got a wedding to go to in Denver. Then we're going to go see Mark and do 3 days of Bigfoot. And then we're going to Telluride, which is like the Switzerland
Oh,
of...
yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah, and spend a few days there and go four-wheeling. I want to do some four-wheeling. I got my truck all ready to go.
Sounds fun.
So.
You should go see my son in Lake Tahoe, but that's not the
Well,
same place.
that's a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
lot far. I wish we could. That'd be awesome.
That sounds like a fun trip. But
Yeah. So we've incorporated all these things. We've incorporated the food, the fitness, the activities. We've incorporated the looking back at the weather and saying, okay, are we ready for this next grand solar minimum? And then the book Bigfoot came in, and to me that was part of living a primal lifestyle, because this is something that apparently exists. And it just seems like it. I'm going to go back, and I want to see one. I want to just feel him around me, breathing on me or something.
you want to just be able to really see that he's true.
I want that belief to come to a
The
reality.
thing that bothers me is so much of the video I've seen is so fuzzy. It's like,
Yeah.
how come their camera's not clear?
Right.
You know, how come they don't have a clear camera?
How come the trail cams don't pick them up? Once in a while you see a trail cam, you see something passing by that's all hairy and everything like that. You can't make it out, and the picture goes dead or something. There's something going on there that's really strange, and, you know, I'd like to get to the bottom of it if I could.
Yeah, so it's your little
Yeah, and there's many
mystery.
people interested in this thing, and it's a growing phenomenon. A lot of people are thinking that they'll find out in the next decade that we'll have the DNA. I mean, we've already had DNA, and we've had it tested, and it comes out that it's not quite human, it's not quite ape. So we don't have scientific proof yet, apparently, because everybody's, you know, really saying, yeah, it might be true, it might not be true. So, you know, there's a lot of people investigating this, and there's a lot of videos out there, and a lot of them are really compelling and convince me, yeah, this thing, that can't be a person who's jumping over that fence that's 6 foot high.
Well, I have to tell you, you know, you mentioned that, you know, we've talked about different things. I mean, the flat earth thing, the existence of aliens, the existing of a different story than the official narrative. I really am thankful, you know, that we have somewhat of an ability to hear different things than what we hear in the TV, but we really are finding out that even the YouTube and this kind of thing are getting censored more and more every day. These
Yeah.
people are losing
Well, now
their...
that the laws changed, too, it's gonna be the company that you get will control your content and can slow down anything. I mean, if I have Comcast and they have a financial show, they'd be pushing that show through fast and TFNN slow. You know, I mean, that's the way our competition is. It's that it's my deal, and I can do what I want.
But there's going to be new innovations. There's,
of
you know,
course.
I mean, we've got like YouTube and stuff, and a lot of these people, I like YouTube, but they're saying they're being censored and their funds are being dropped. But there's new companies, you know, there's cryptocurrencies that are creating new Steam, the Steemit, and the DTube, and I want to support these things that allow us to really. You know.
That's for sure. Okay, stick around, folks. We got one more segment left, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors.
And welcome back. So now we're heading into 2018. That number alone, you know.
It's pretty shocking,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I remember when I used to calculate, how old am I going to be in 2000? The year 2000, I was like, wow, I'll be 37, you know. And now I was like, geez, it seems like forever ago.
And it flies by, that's for sure. You make resolutions?
Well, I'm in the process of forming those, but like I said, this is a big step. I'm going to be in New Year's. I'm going by myself, but with meeting up with this group of people, and I want to be more connected. And I've become so obsessed with reading and stuff. I realize that I'm too connected.
Yeah.
You know, I just read all the time, and you can find me if nothing distracts me. I'll read all day.
Yeah.
And so I need to get back to being more outdoors and into nature. That's probably one of my biggest things I want to do. And I'm working on some of my financial moves because I want to have my money working more. You know, David Devine, you know, talking with the cryptocurrency world, whether you like it or you don't, it's here to stay.
Yeah.
And I'm getting myself educated on that, and I want to be a little smarter with using my money to work for me instead of me working for my money.
Yeah. We're planning a little bit more vacation.
More vacation, more
yeah,
travel.
Usually it's just once a year for us and maybe a couple of side trips. This year we're going twice. Once in February, we're going to Palm Springs. My wife has she's getting an award, a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, that'll be nice.
For Miss Ellen DeHaan. It's really well-deserved, 35 years in the industry. And, you know, I knew this was coming years ago. I didn't know when, but it's happening now, and it's a big award. It's in Palm Springs, so I'm going to take a flight up there.
That's a beautiful place.
Yeah, and I like going to Joshua Tree Monument while I'm there, so that's a nice little break for me. It'll be only 3 or 4 days, but that's cool. Then in June, we're going to take a couple of weeks and go to Colorado and have that time. But the following year is when my wife will be retiring, at least going a lot less than what she's doing now, and me working half days. It will give us much more opportunity to throw in more vacations, and we slowly plan on getting maybe 4 vacations in a year of 1 or 2 weeks, that type of thing. So.
You know, you're starting out what you said at the beginning of the show. You know, in Europe, there's more of a respect for the fact that downtime is important.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're more productive. And over here, there seems to be this drive.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to decide that we're going to have more of a life than and the way you do that is you integrate these times.
Well, it's also, you have to be able to afford it too. And, you know, when people struggle, it's tough in America. If you don't have a real highly professional job or own your own business, you're not making as much money as you can be. So it's really up to you to get in your own business, because there's many benefits to that. And plus, you're going to be working in something that you're really passionate about. If you're not doing that, you really need to look around and stop what you're doing and reevaluate, because it's not about the money as much. We do need that, but being passionate.
The best things in life are not things.
Yeah, and then if they're not costly either. A lot of things.
That's what I mean.
But a lot of things that used to be free and easy are not there anymore, like the free clean water and the air and the food. And you know, we're living a dangerous world. I think much more dangerous than our forefathers would even have imagined. We think this modern life brings us a lot of security and things like that, and we find out maybe that's not so. So that's why I like looking back into living a primal lifestyle and seeing what our ancestors did, and that they were actually basically peaceful people until they were pushed.
I think it's important that we take a look at what was going on and to try and simplify our lives. I think if we simplify our lives and reconnect, I think we're going to have a much richer life. And that may not be in terms of dollars, but, you know, quite frankly, guys, you don't take it with you.
Yeah.
So find a way to enjoy your life.
I think reconnecting is a good way of putting it, in a sense, because we have all these devices that kind of take us away from direct connection to each other.
I know, like you see people in restaurants looking and not really communicating, but hope that you're reconnecting with the people and not these things.
That's right.
Over the holidays and enjoying some really well-deserved rest, relaxation, and reconnection.
Thanks for sticking around, folks. We'll see you next show.
That's right. See you Thursday.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.